So once again, we're looking at an AND inequality, compound inequality, and we're asked to solve the compound inequality, graph the solution, and write the solution in interval notation. And again, AND means that it has to satisfy both inequalities. OR would mean one or the other. AND means both. So we start off by writing out our inequalities that make up the compound inequality. So 2 times 3x plus 1 is less than or equal to 20, and 4 times x minus 1 is less than 2. We distribute the 2. I'll solve the left-hand part of the inequality first, remembering that it's an AND inequality in between. So 2 times 3 is 6x, plus 2 times 1 is 2, is less than or equal to 20. Subtract 2 from both sides. We get 6x is less than or equal to 18. And dividing both sides by 6, we get x is less than or equal to 3. Distribute the 4. On our right-hand side of the inequality, we get 4x minus 4 is less than 2. Add 4 to both sides. We get 4x is less than 6. Divide both sides by 4. And if we simplify 6/4, we get x is less than 3/2. So again, we want to make sure that both values are found on our number lines. We'll go ahead and we'll graph each one separately, then combine the graphs to see what they share in common. So we start off with x is less than or equal to 3. So we'll draw our number line. We'll start off with 4 since it's less than. So 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, -3. It's inclusive because it contains the equal sign. So at x equals 3, we'll either have a closed circle or a bracket. I'll go ahead and use a bracket this time because both of those are equivalent. And it's less than. The bracket indicates that it's equal to, and less than we will go to the left. So that's our x is less than or equal to 3 part, which comes from the 2 times 3x plus 1 is less than or equal to 20. Now we'll go ahead and graph the second part of the compound inequality. So I'll try to make the scale the same as it was before. So we have x is less than 3/2. So 3/2 is 1.5. So that's going to be right about here. And we can use an open circle or a parenthesis since it's less than. So I'll go ahead and use a parenthesis since I used a bracket above. And again, that's less than, so we go to the left. Now what do we share in common with both of these graphs? Well, the endpoint over here is not included in this second inequality. The endpoint of the first is not included in the second, but this one is included here. So it looks like all of our second part of the inequality, the x is less than 3/2, which comes from 4 times x minus 1 is less than 2. Looks like all of that is contained within the first inequality. So our graph is just going to end up being that second part of our inequality, because anything that's in this second part, that's x is less than 3/2, anything that's in x is less than 3/2 is also part of x is less than or equal to 3. So go ahead and draw our scale again. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, -3. And we simply just repeat the graph that we already made for the second part, So a parenthesis, it's going to the left. And in interval notation, we're going infinitely to the left, so it goes to negative infinity. And we're going up to 3 halves, but not including 3 halves because it's non-inclusive. So in interval notation, it would be negative infinity, comma, 3 halves, parentheses on the sides of both values that are our endpoints.